Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress, of a podcast about movies and TV shows and video games and lots of pop culture and nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today, and with me per usual, Devin. I came up with a nickname for you. You know, you've seen the Fast and Furious franchise, right?
Yes, all of
Do you remember Kurt Russell's character, Mr. Nobody?
them.
Well,
Yeah,
you are Mr. Nowhere
Mr.
because
Nowhere.
we constantly don't know where you are in the world.
Yes,
It's
that's
better
right.
than Waldo, so.
True, true. I don't have the striped shirt, but today I'm in Denver, Colorado. Who knows where I'll be next time you hear me? But yeah,
Who knows?
I'm in Denver, Colorado. It's awesome.
But glad to have you. Funny enough, also ironically, last week it was just me and Brian, and he got the nickname Old Reliable, and he's not here today.
We don't have to do a lot of searching, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, so listeners, just me and Devin this week covering a massive amount of stuff. So,
Oof.
Devin, should we just hop right into
Oh,
this?
we got too many to talk about.
Too many. Let's go.
News talk.
First trailer. I mean, this is just trailers. The entire news for this week, listeners, is nothing but the millions and millions of trailers that came out in the past 7-ish days. We're going to cover as many as we can. So yeah, also, if you want to skip ahead, skip any trailers or avoid spoilers, check the time codes or all that stuff. First trailer, here we go. The Last of Us, the TV show on HBO, got its first official trailer. I'm so jazzed about this. I'm interested to see what you thought because you know very little
Yeah,
compared to
I don't
what
know much. All I've seen is the first 5 minutes of the first game, which just killed me emotionally.
Correct.
So I'm, if the writing's on any level of that, but to me, after the trailer, my main thought is like, it looks like Walking Dead, just a lot better.
Yeah,
So,
right.
like just a much better, budget and just maybe some more, intrigue and maybe some actually good drama instead of just creating shit.
Right. Noticeably, like very little monsters. It looks like a lot of human drama in this, which should be interesting.
Right. But with that clicking noise, they can just make it scary without seeing it.
Right. Yeah.
too.
I mean, yeah.
So
It looks great. I'm still on board. I like the idea because we also got word that Mandalorian season 3 is coming out like March 1st. So I like the idea that this show comes out January 15th. The final episode, depending on how many they do, might lead up directly to when Mando starts. So it's just Pedro Pascal for like the next 6 months.
oh my gosh.
Pedro Pascal and a little child.
He just him just like babysitting someone. That's just like, America's addicted to it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool things I saw that were from the games that I'm not going to spoil because obviously you don't know. So I'm not going to even do that. But there are two cool things that I noticed in the trailer that people have been talking about. One is the actor Troy Baker who played Joel in the video game. You can see him in the trailer. He is in the show. He's in one of the shots amongst some hunter people, some sketchy looking people.
That's cool.
And then Ashley Johnson who played Ellie. It looks like her. I'm pretty sure it's her. She's in the shot of the woman holding a baby. So this is all speculation because I don't know. It looks like she might be playing Ellie's mom, which is completely new to the video game. That's not in the game at all. You don't know who her mother is and everything. So I think that's kind of a sweet idea that she doesn't. Obviously, she can't play the character now. She's like 37 years old. But I think it was pretty cool that they have her. If it is true, it's seemingly she's playing her mother. I thought that was pretty
interesting.
Sweet.
Interesting. Also, Ron Swanson. Randomly, did I see
Ron
that right?
Swanson, man. Yes, you did. He's playing Bill, man. I'm excited to see him. Also, it looks like he's not gonna make it based on this trailer. There's a shot of him with a blood wound to the gut.
God.
I don't know what's happening.
Hey, I was just the character, Nick Offerman's character from Parks and Rec. That's like he'd be waiting for something like The Last of Us. I feel like.
Oh, absolutely. He's a survivalist. Yeah.
Carpentry, like canning. I think. Maybe, homesteading kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think they look great. I think Pedro's probably going to knock it out of the park. I'm not so much worried about him as I am with Bella Ramsey, who's playing Ellie, just in the sense that she has to be special. She has to be the center of this whole series in terms of connecting with the audience. And she's the anchor, even more than Pedro Pascal. So, and based on this trailer, I was a little skeptical just on this trailer at parts, but watching it again, I think she's gonna nail it. I think I'm gonna give it a shot, and yeah, I think she's gonna do well.
Child actors is tough, man. They can be real good or real bad.
Right. Which is probably why they went with a girl who's like a little older. She's like 19, I think, in real life or something
She's
like that. So she's not.
19? What?
I think so.
Oh my God.
I think she's not 14, which is what the character's supposed to be, which is probably smart. So
Bro,
yeah,
how? These kids,
yeah, I
it's
know.
like when I learned that like the Karate Kid was like in his 20s
It's
when he
like
shot that movie. I
25.
was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like, no, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last thing before we move on, at the very end, you get a tidbit of the original music, which I'm glad. It seems like they're going to bring the same composer into the show, which is great. I'm very excited about that. And "Take on Me" is the song they use in this trailer, which is very special for people that know the second video game. So that's kind of cool for them.
Interesting.
But yeah, very excited. January 15th. I don't know, man. I see a potential Fortress Finest in our future at some point because I definitely know I'm gonna want to talk about that show every fucking week.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll see. Next up, next trailer. This one's gonna be a tearjerker. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, dude.
Oof.
I can already feel the
I'm worried.
emotions.
I'm
flowing.
very worried for Rocket. But maybe that's a
I
deception. I don't know, but I'm worried.
I know, because like obviously in the trailer, like this is very Rocket centric,
Right.
and clearly there is something horrible is happening in one of the scenes to make Peter Quill
Yeah.
like scream in agony over
Yeah.
something, and my first initial guess was Rocket, obviously, but it's like it would be. Is it too on the nose to be Rocket? In which case, it's got to be Drax.
Could be Drax. Could be. Well, it couldn't be Groot. It can't be Groot again.
It can't be Groot again, and it can't be Gamora again.
Yeah, I don't think they're the same.
And
yeah.
you see Mantis also in distress as well.
Mhm.
So it's not Mantis, I would believe. So it's got to be Rocket or
Dude,
Drax. And
if they kill, I mean, maybe both. I mean, I don't know, but like it's
oh god,
Guardians. Though, like, why we gotta? Why we gotta go that direction with Guardians? You know?
it's true. But like, I mean, James Gunn, he's a master at the funny with the emotion. So
Yeah.
like it's. And if this is his last one, he's gonna put it all out there. And he said like this is gonna be kind of sad,
Fuck.
an emotional ride.
I'm not ready.
And I'm not ready either. Because when I first saw, I was like, it's got to be someone that Peter would have that reaction about.
It's
And
got
there
to
are
be one of the
very
main
few
team.
people.
Yeah, got to be one of the main team.
Yeah, like I couldn't see him having that reaction over Mantis's
No.
death. You know, like that he looked like devastated,
Right.
dude.
Or eyebrows, Adam Warlock. He's not going to care about that guy.
Oh, right.
So-
Yeah, which I'm assuming it seems like he's gonna start villain, maybe end hero type of
I think
arc.
so. Yeah,
Because it
he'll be a
looks like
good
he's
guy.
kicking the
Would be a good guy by
utter
then.
shit out of Nebula for a second.
Yeah.
there.
Wait, what's his
So,
actual name? We need to respect this man. He's a good
Will
actor.
Poulter. Will Poulter.
Will Poulter.
We
Thank you.
can't
Will
keep
Poulter.
calling him eyebrows all the time.
Yeah, poor eyebrow guy. Yeah, Will Poulter. He looks like, I don't know. I'm excited to see Adam Warlock because
Yeah.
he was supposed to have a big role in Infinity War, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
maybe they'll kind of use the absence of one to maybe he'll fill in on the team.
That's true. Yeah, I
Otherwise,
didn't
who
think
knows?
about that. He could be maybe the next line of Guardians, maybe the leader. Who knows?
Hmm.
I want to say like we'll see some of these characters again, just not in a Guardians movie. Like I can't
Yeah.
imagine that we're not going to see any of them in like Secret Wars or anything like that.
Right.
But
right.
it's going to be interesting. Like yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. This one's going to be rough. Just by this, like, and especially like they can't kill a CGI raccoon. That's
I
gonna be
mean-
so horrible.
I mean, but like it would be so like Drax. I don't know, man. Either one would be like if they do the dialogue right, because like
yeah,
I could see Rocket, like he was already giving a pretty heart wrenching speech. If that's
Yeah.
his death, if that's his speech when he's dying, like
right.
that's going to be
And
painful.
they're like introducing like this cute otter friend of his as well. Like,
Mhm.
I don't. It's gonna be rough, man. I'm excited. This very quickly jumped to the top of my list of anticipation movies of next year.
Yeah.
Like I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. But then after seeing this, I'm like, I'm more excited for this than anything, man.
Yeah. I also did like the music, like the
Yeah.
way they layered the music in there. It's no Wakanda Forever, but it
No.
was good. It was a good trailer.
James Gunn's always good with the music and his shit. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. That's pretty much it. Moving on. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Indy 5, the last one.
So we just not going to talk about Shia LaBeouf, I guess. Like
Nope.
just
He's
doesn't
dead.
exist
He's dead to
anymore.
us.
they're like, yeah, he's his son. We're gonna do new stuff with him. It's like, well,
Eh,
who's this new girl? Oh, that's my goddaughter. Oh, what about your son, who should definitely be on this
Your
adventure?
real son.
We're not talking about him.
I do wonder if they're even gonna like signal to him or anything. Maybe it'll be a line. It's like he's in college or
Yeah.
I don't know.
He got drafted for Vietnam.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
I
that
don't know.
where we are
He's
now?
dead.
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Yeah.
This trailer, I was mostly just kind of whelmed after seeing it. I was like, okay, this looks cool. There's
Mid.
there's
Yeah.
some CG-ness that's like, ooh, that does not look very
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm only giving this a chance, one mostly because it's James Mangold directing, and he did Logan, he did 310 to Yuma, he did a lot of
Mm.
my personal favorite movies, and yeah, so clearly, I think he knows what he's doing. I think it's gonna be good. I'm like, who doesn't want a good Indiana Jones movie, especially after the
Right.
last one? Which
But I think it's just tired at this point, you know? I
yeah,
don't know.
I mean, I kind of got like a little like Force Awakens vibes from seeing this of like
Mhm.
nostalgia and obviously Harrison Ford. But again, it's just James Mangold, so that I'm putting all my faith in him. And I will say that de aging of Harrison Ford in that one shot looked fucking incredible, though. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that looks good.
And it looks like it's gonna do like a lot of flashbacks to like something in World War II because there's a lot of Nazis.
Yes,
Indiana Jones loves beating up some Nazis.
I mean, who doesn't?
So exactly.
I mean, also with the title "Dial of Destiny," it seems like, and there's been a lot of rumors of weird time travel in this to
Yeah,
this to
like
this movie. So that seems like a lot to do, but I don't
yeah.
know.
Just don't touch the originals. Like don't change the timeline or anything. But
I don't know if they'll change the timeline, but I bet you we'll get flashbacks to the originals,
yeah, definitely.
like maybe like Endgame style. I don't
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Interesting concept.
Yeah,
I do love
yeah.
the kicker at the end of like, flipping the gun thing on him. Like that was pretty clever.
That was
Like
great. Yeah, yeah. I do wonder how much stunt work can a 80-year-old
Yeah.
Harrison Ford do?
All right, Harrison, for this next one, you're just gonna get down quickly.
Just duck
You're
as
just gonna
fast
duck
as
under
you
this
can.
table. Yeah.
Oh, please don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this stuff. It's too much. Let's get this stunt double.
Real quick shout out to John Rhys Davis is back as Sala, which I'm
Hmm.
excited to see him, even if he's in it probably for like 15 minutes. Still awesome to see
Hmm.
him. And I didn't
Yeah.
know that Antonio Banderas was in this movie, so that's kind of cool. Good for him.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
also, did I see one of the Nazis right? Was that Mads Mikkelsen?
That was Mads Mikkelsen. He is the
Love
villain.
me some Mads Mikkelsen, man. He'd
Yep.
be a great bad evil Nazi.
I
He
thought
would
you were
be
gonna say
such a
he'd
good
be a
evil Nazi.
great Nazi.
I mean, not he would play the fictional
I
part
mean,
of a very, very good Nazi.
to be fair, he kind of did play a Nazi when he took over as that Grindelwald Harry Potter villain in the most recent movie. So he's
True,
kind of,
true,
he kind of
true.
was a wizard Nazi then. So yeah,
Yeah, a wizard fascist. Now he's just for the real ones.
now he's a regular fascist.
Just one of the top fascists of all time.
Right. All right. Moving on. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. I will
could not
honestly
care
say,
less.
funny enough, I have not been more excited for a Transformers movie since like 2002 or 2012 or whatever year.
Just stop.
2007, 8, like over a
No,
decade.
just stop.
I don't know, man. For
Just
some
stop making
reason,
them.
this one got me. I've never been this excited in so long for a Transformers movie, and I don't know why.
I think the lead of Usnave, right? I don't know.
Yeah, in the
I,
Heights, he's in this. Yeah,
I need to learn his actual name, but yeah, I mean, I think okay, he's definitely got some
I
acting
think
talent.
what mostly gets me is that it's not Michael Bay. He's not directing
True,
this.
thank
So,
God.
and like I like that they kind of stuck with the more like old school looks for the Transformers
Hmm.
instead of all these weird polygons and shit. So like I don't know, like that last shot of that like war, that looked like a Saturday morning cartoon, and I was like, Give me that. I don't need any
Hmm.
humans in this movie. Just give me that for an hour and a half."
I think it's Sundance that's doing it, right? So
Yeah.
did I see that right? So maybe, I mean, I don't know. A fresh take would be very welcome.
Like the last one, I guess technically was Bumblebee, maybe. Like that was good. That was genuinely a fun movie. It wasn't like a big Transformers thing, and this seems. I hope this leans
Hmm.
more into that than the Michael Bay-ness of it, because like I think most of us, those last two Michael Bay movies were, oh god, they were a slog.
Oh,
They were a slog.
yeah.
Oh,
I did not finish them. I haven't seen Bumblebee, but
Bumblebee's
I guess I've
fun.
heard good things.
Bumblebee's fun.
Maybe I'll watch
Yeah.
it with the nieces sometime. That'll be where I put it. Maybe sometime with the kids.
Yeah. So we'll see. Rise of the Beast. Next one.
Mhm.
Next, the Super Mario Brothers movie, aka this movie's gonna be great except for Chris Pratt.
I mean, how long is this movie? It looks like they try to jam in every single Mario thing.
Everything is in this movie, dude. Did not expect
No,
that
Mario
much.
Kart? I mean, they're gonna introduce Mario World. Like I guess Waluigi, and they haven't shown Waluigi or Wario yet, I don't think. But they'll probably be in there somewhere. Donkey Kong, which you could have made a whole movie about, probably. I also think I wouldn't be very surprised if they left this off for like a sequel, like a very cliffhanger-y kind of ending.
Right.
But I mean, it looks like they're trying to cram in a lot.
I mean, yeah, like the Rainbow Road Mario Kart, a little bit of Smash Brothers at the beginning with him and Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is also
yeah.
kind of an homage to that old school Donkey Kong Game Boy game of you with the bridges and shit. Yeah, Chris Pratt's just the worst part, and like I think you'll get used to it.
But he takes me out. It takes me out of the scene now.
Does it really?
Every time. Yeah, because it's like it was just such a bad. Well, I don't know, just for the trailer anyway. But I feel like there's so many more people you could have gone.
Oh
with.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think everyone else.
But
Jack
I
Black
don't
still
know.
continues to sound great. Luigi, I think Charlie Day sounds good as Luigi. I think he'll be fine. But like no one's really, except for maybe Jack Black-esque, and then Keegan Michael Key's doing Toad. Like even Charlie Day's kind of mostly just doing himself. Like they're all, so we haven't heard Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and like Anya Taylor-Joy. Like I feel like most people aren't talking about her enough because like she's kind of doing the same thing Chris Pratt's doing in the sense that she's just doing herself. But I think people,
Right.
I think Mario's voice is just more iconic, so more people are talking about that more often. But
Right.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
like 5-10 minutes into the movie, it'll just be like, all right, this is what it is.
They should have just put in audio that he's already recorded and just like he only talks in like, here we go.
Right.
Like, Mario, like just the whole movie. And like the story moves through like Toad.
Right, like he never
and, like,
talks at
Peach.
all.
And he only ever like says lines from the games. Like that would be
Like even
phenomenal.
Luigi
Like,
talks, but Mario doesn't.
Yeah. Honestly, like wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks incredible though. Like it looks like it's gonna be fun, and that's all I kind of expect out of it.
It'll be fun. I'll watch it again. I'll watch it with my nieces.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would though. One thing I did notice this, and in Indiana Jones, but in this one specifically, like the epic kind of makeover of like the theme song just did not work
No.
for me at all. Like at the end,
They did really try to go ham at the end.
I know you just can't make that goofy like kind of like
Yeah.
like you can't put like a whole symphony behind
Right.
that and make it sound good like dun, 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 dun,
Yeah. It was pretty goofy.
like,
Yeah.
it's just like, man, this is clown shit. Like just I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Next, The Witcher, Blood Origin, got a trailer. Overall, I'm you know what makes me excited about this? It's a 4-part series.
Yeah, I was gonna say digestible. That's a plus
Yeah.
for it. I'd be a lot more excited if Henry Cavill hadn't left for.
Yeah, that's a real bummer.
I mean, the details
It's a
just
real
keep getting
bummer.
worse. The more there's rumors milling about. Okay, more rumors come out every day.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
it just I think I'd be a lot more excited for this if I knew it was in good hands, which I no longer trust.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, I don't know. I trust this. I like Michelle Yeoh. I think that since it is like a 4-part side project, it'll and it's not directly connected. Although we'll talk about that in a second. Directly connected. I'm
Mhm.
excited about it. Comes out on Christmas, but all right. So let's talk about it. For some reason, Jaskier says Dandelion is at the end of this. Considering this
Yeah.
takes place like 1500 years.
Weird cameo. I'm not really sure. Maybe I think that might happen at the very beginning, and then the whole story is like the song of what happens.
That's what I think too. Because I did read a funny rumor that some people think that because like he hasn't aged in like the 20 years in the show, like but he's a normal man, that he's immortal.
I mean, hey, wouldn't be the first time. Dandelion just
just
shows
shows
up
up,
in any
man.
Witcher story. He's always there. Like it doesn't matter if it's a prequel or a sequel or what.
Nope.
Like Dandelion's just always around.
Yep. Yeah, so I did not expect that, but I like that actor a lot. I think he kills it as the character. So yeah, should be fun. But yeah, I do think it'll probably be like a present day going into the past type of
I think
thing.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he'll start the song
Right.
because that elf asked him to,
Yeah.
and then that'll be like what the events of what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know. We'll see. All right, last one real quick. We got a teaser for Netflix's That 90s Show, a sequel to That 70s Show. I only have one thing to say about this. Two things. First thing, damn, them parents look good still. But I was like, damn, I guess it's been like 2 decades, I think, since That 70s Show, and they still look great. I will have to say, I messaged my mom about this trailer, and she was like, the first thing she said was like, man, the parents look so good. I was like, wait, Ma. Did you think that 70s show was made in the 70s? That show was made like 20 years ago, which is still a long time, but it's not like it's been 50 years. So that was very fun.
What are they taking?
Right.
How are they saying so
I need to
young?
get
That's
on what
funny.
they're on.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, will this be good? I don't know. Netflix is hit or miss. I don't know.
It's a sitcom. You never
It's a
know.
sitcom, so it could last. It might last. Netflix might not kill it after 2 seasons, Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. That's the news. That's the trailers. It's a lot. Devin, we made it. Shall we now move into our main topic of the week?
Oh, I am excited for this one.
Yeah. But first, we are trapped in another fortress, listeners. This week, this fortress is, whoo boy, it's long. It's the longest Star Wars thing we've gotten. Uh,
Bang,
Devin is
bang,
banging the drum, baby.
bang.
We are in potentially the best Star Wars fortress we've been in so far. Because we are in
Yeah.
the fortress of,
Andor.
Andor what?
Bang. This guy just plugs in his earbuds and just like fucking
It's just going
beating
ham.
on a metal table.
Ugh.
And
Yes.
for some reason,
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, it was all just so he could throw that stormtrooper off at the end, and it looked awesome. That was hilarious.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thus, listeners, we are covering Andor, the Star Wars Disney Plus series,
Mm-hmm.
the 12-episode series. Long one, but man, was it a fun ride.
Oh, 12 episodes too short.
Real quick, no spoilers overall. I mean, I love this show. It was such a nice surprise. We'll probably talk about this even more as we continue, but it's a bit of a bummer that it's getting such a small amount of praise. Like not a lot of people
Yeah.
have watched it. It's
Like
kind
flying under the radar, right?
It flew completely under the radar, and I think it was like because there was so much shit. There was like Rings of Power, House of the Dragon,
House of the Dragon,
She-Hulk,
yeah.
all of
Yeah.
so much content, and it just kind of like flew under the radar. But I think it might have ended up being one of the best ones out of the bunch, and definitely one of the best Star Wars things we've seen in a long time. And we'll talk about that a little more as we get into spoilers. But yeah, I loved it. I cannot wait for season 2.
I feel the same way. Like I was just so happy that we finally got like a Star Wars thing for adults. Like, and that's what it's the closest thing. It's the closest thing to Rogue One, obviously. Maybe obviously because of the Andor connection,
Right?
But it was the first one that really felt like for the true fans that like really dive deep and like watch Bad Batch and watch all these things from like an adult perspective. This was like. It like was for us. Like this is not for the kids, right? Like this is
I wouldn't show. Yeah, I wouldn't show a kid this show. Yeah.
No, and it's not really for them. I mean, they're talking about pretty mature things and very dark, deep stuff, and also auditing.
Right.
Like, listen, right. I want an apology from all of you. Okay, Empire's Logistics. You just saw why I made that pick. Okay. We're talking about boardrooms. We're talking about meetings. Yeah. We're talking about reports and audits. Okay, this is the power. I got Deidre, whatever last name is on my side. Okay, she's gonna sniff out every little thing that you do.
She was by far until a point. Like the most. I rooted for the Empire the most.
I rooted for her, like to an extent, yeah.
Until one very particular scene, yes.
but like, okay, remember when they do the stealing it and then they send, okay, like, hey, that's fine, you can take some of my money. Guess what? I'm just gonna send a Star Destroyer to destroy your entire holy site. All right, I'm gonna like send a whole fleet to avenge that. Okay, so Empire was scary. Empire's back. That's why I picked the Empire's Logistics in our draft.
Yeah.
I want an apology from everybody on the Fortress.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
You saw the true power. Yeah.
All right, let's get into spoilers from this point on, listeners. I feel like let's tackle this like arc by arc because this show is very segmented into like basically 3-episode arcs, and we'll definitely talk about more than others. So let's try to get through these first couple quickly because I know we'll talk about the last 2 like in depth. But I will say. So the first arc is on Ferrix, the Ferrix arc. It's kind of establishing things, and I will say, Diego Luna kills it, And I think people aren't talking about him as much because there's so much talent on this show, Like Stellan Skarsgård kills it. I think Genevieve O'Reilly, who plays Mon Mothma, kills it. Like you were saying, the actor that plays Dedra fucking nails it. Everyone's good, and Diego Luna, he's the main character, and I think like. He's a little underrated, but he's so good. Like, everyone's so good. Oh, I just loved it.
Yeah, it was a very, very well acted show, but very well written, too. And I think that's partly why, you say it was written for adults. They did such a good job of show, don't tell, which so many Star Wars properties do such a terrible job at. because they're
Right.
written for kids sometimes.
Exactly.
But I mean, like there was just like such subtlety to it, like so many of the scenes and like little hints that they would leave, and then you remember it later. Like it was just I just loved that. Like, just give me like a subtle hint. You don't need to tell me what's going on. And like some of the dialogue was just beautiful. Like Luthen's speech to
Oh,
his agent at the end. I loved that, man. That was so awesome. Like,
yeah, it was incredible. One of the best speech, one of the best speeches in Star Wars. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
But Ferrex, I feel
Mhm,
like overall, like it was a decent intro. I
mhm,
enjoyed like the small scale like skirmish they had at the very end of this whole
mhm.
arc. When you like introduce Luthen and him and Cassian dip out, it really showed who we'll talk about Cyril, who is the worst fucking character in this show.
Oh my god, yeah. Narc City, dude.
I cannot wait for Cyril to go.
But he's only going to be more powerful now. He's going to be in the Empire
Oh
next
my god,
season. Like
it's
he's going to be an Imperial officer.
it's gonna be rough. Oh god,
The
yeah.
Star Wars alt right, man. Like seriously.
Yeah, dude, for real. Like he is, and it's funny because like when he first pops up, like I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like I kind of see where he's coming from. Where it's like these two men died, which I love that
Hmm.
Andor just straight up kills two people. I'm like, that is
Yeah.
the Andor that I know. Like the show won me over from there.
Dude, he is such a cold-blooded killer.
He
Like he
he
like
really is.
he will just casually kill people like
Like willy nilly.
so casually. Like there's nobody else in Star Wars that kills people like Andor does. Like I can't remember where he did it. But like at one point he like has this guy on the ground and he just like quietly just like like kills him
Yep,
like with the blaster
just
silence. Like
executes him.
it's like holy shit. Oh, it's when he was busting Bix out. But it's like
Oh yeah.
holy fuck, he just casually murdered that guy. Like
Yep.
I love it. And it's like what you've always wanted from a character. It's like just kill them, kill them. And then he
He's
does it.
he's kind of
Like
like
yes.
what you assume Boba Fett would have been, you know? Like
Yes.
this dude that's like he's good. He's kind of an anti-hero. He's good, but like he does what he needs to do to survive. He is 1,000% a
Hmm.
survivor and he knows what the fuck he's doing is the thing. Like he's
Hmm.
not dumb.
Hmm.
Which is kind of
Right.
nice to see. Like cuz Boba Fett was real dumb a lot of the time. Andor's
Yeah.
not that dumb, you know? Like he's
The
yeah.
contrast between this show and Book of Boba Fett
Oh
could
god, it's
not
night
be
and day,
higher.
dude.
Like
It's
it's like
night and day.
one of these shows was written by a fifth grader, and the other one, like, and I feel bad because I think Filoni probably had a big part of Boba Fett. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, I mean, he wrote the Mando episode, so yeah, but yeah, no,
yeah,
absolutely.
well, this one was written by adults, so it was
I mean,
like
Tony
so much better.
Gilroy and his team of all those writers and directors, like, yeah, they killed. Amazing,
Oh,
amazing.
every episode, yeah, so good.
But yeah, going back to that first episode, I feel like throughout the show there were a lot of like subtle slash not subtle like references to like our modern day culture, specifically when like the cops go to arrest Andor and he's not
Hmm.
moving and they're constantly yelling at him to say don't move and he's like I'm not moving. That I was like that's like a real life scary
Hmm.
thing that happens in
Hmm.
that moment. So and there's a lot which we'll probably talk about as well. But so I thought that was interesting.
But other than like Alderaan and like I guess Scarif and also whatever like beach planet he was on at one point, is there a
Oh,
single like
that's the
nice
news. That's the next Fast and Furious setting. Is that space beach he went to?
yeah, gotta cue the music. But like every like origin story in in Star Wars has you just gotta live in a dirty fucking place, man. Like
Oh yeah.
Ferrex, like Ferrex, Tatooine.
Everyone
They're
has a
all. I mean,
horrible childhood in this universe.
yeah, the place where Obi-Wan goes, like the casino kind of place that Obi-Wan goes. It's like
Right.
there's a dirty galaxy.
It's all gross.
Y'all need some trees,
Right.
like one tree.
And like, I mean, obviously it's because the Empire, they suck. But like this show, if anything, just showed how fucking terrible the Empire is.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
was
Hmm.
oh man, like and I liked it. It's like really showed like they're bad people. They're not
Yeah.
they're horrible. They're terrible people.
Well, it's like, yeah, but like with the recent properties like Mando and in Book of Boba Fett, right? Like stormtroopers are just like, like filler. Like it's
Yeah,
just like no threat left anymore. Like, oh,
exactly.
stormtroopers, whatever, we're gonna beat them. But this is like, no, this is scary Empire. Like,
The stormtroopers actually hit things in this.
right. That's what I loved about Rogue One. It brought back scary Death Star and made the Empire look really scary. That's what I loved about this. Like, the Empire is like a huge, I mean, they control everything, right?
It's a
If you
threat.
you steal
Yeah.
some of their money, they send a whole Star Destroyer to like get retribution. I mean, they're all over you.
And like something I noticed as well, like the beach planet that he goes to,
Mm-hmm.
like it's all like populated and people look like they're on vacation. After that whole incident of him getting arrested, when he goes back later with Melshi, it's abandoned. It's like the Empire
Mm-hmm.
came there and just fucked that planet as well. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, that it's nuts though. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you can see how they like, and it's, I mean, Luthen says it at one point, like he's like, good, like we, like, oh, they ramped up the security, the laws and like are, they're doubling people's sentences and they're not giving people trials and stuff. Luthen's like, great, this is good for our business. Like we need to
Right.
push the oppression, so he kind of wanted the reaction that he got
Right.
from when they raided that. Well, I mean, we'll talk about Luthen, but like, I just, that was pretty smart. But it's like when they're starting from like, you're seeing the early stages of the rebellion where there's nobody. It's like Saw Gerrera and like 20 of his guys and that
living
other
in
guy,
a cave.
Krieger, and like, oh, you gotta work with Krieger. How many people? You got 30. Like what?
Right.
Y'all are fighting the Empire. You got like 60 people max. Like,
and to the point where like Luthen's willing to sacrifice those 30 people.
mm-hmm.
Like he's like, they mean nothing.
Half of our army.
Right.
Well, that's half of our army. Oh well, we gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. But it's like, very early days where like Luthen's like, I'd rather have Lonnie, this guy on the inside, than all 30 of those men and that one guy. Like, that's, yeah.
I loved that though. I loved how dark it got so quick.
Luthen is the man, but he is scary as hell.
I mean, I just like first of all, his cloak just like billowing in the wind, when he first came. That was cool.
Yeah.
Like, just cool look overall. Loved his first little meeting there with Andor. And then you kind of feel like, wait, like, why is this guy here? Like, he came and it's like, oh, he didn't even want the device. He just wanted Cassian's skill set.
Exactly.
Which you find out is pretty dang good. He's a perfect spy.
He really is. He's better than everyone else. Like that's why one of the funny things is in the Aldani arc where he's like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing, do you? And he's like, why don't I just do all of this? How about that?
But I do love when he's talking to Luthen and he's like, how do you sneak into all these like really secure places? And he's just like, you just put on a uniform and you usually just, if you just act like you did the whole, construction vest and ladder argument. If you put on a construction vest, a hard hat, and a ladder, you can walk in anywhere.
Yep. I mean,
and
that goes into his whole argument. Like the Empire, they've gotten so ignorant and so fat because they've been ruling for so long that they don't notice the little people. They don't notice. So yeah, you just walk in like you own the place and no one says a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Luthen's like, oh, like what? Like you just walk in, wear uniform. But yeah, I love that when he was like, oh, but we're gonna lose Krieger. He's like, good. Like, or like, I mean, well, it wasn't good, but he's like, he's like, well, I mean, that's the price we pay. And, if we do that, it'll make the Empire even more bold. Right. It'll make them more lazy in their calculations. So really, give them this little win. Like he's playing 5D chess. Like,
oh my God, yes.
From the beginning. Yeah.
And like, so we're talking about him. And like, it's clearly in that space battle. There is a space battle in this show.
Ooh.
And
sick.
It is amazing, dude.
That was so sick. That was so sick.
Like, he's just so dope. Just like so comical. It's like, yeah, talking to them on the fucking radio. And at the whole meantime, he's just waiting for like whatever that thing was that he launched, like the shrapnel launcher at the fucking satellite or the tractor beam. I was like, why doesn't everyone have that? That was
like
so
a bunch
dope.
of arrows.
Yeah.
Just like some space arrows.
And then he fucking Iron Manned it. He fucking Iron Manned those 2 TIE fighters, the lasers.
Oh my God. I loved that scene. That was so cool.
It just showed, like he's got it, dude. And it also like paints a bigger picture for the whole show in the sense that going to his speech again that we talk about, where he's like, "What if I sacrifice? I sacrifice fucking everything." It really makes you think like, yeah, Luke may have shot the shot that destroyed the Death Star, but like he did it off of the backs of so much shit. Like so many people had to die and so many people had to sacrifice, like Luthen did, to get Luke to that point. And I love that this show is exploring that,
Right. I mean, Rogue One too, right? Like you see the enormous sacrifice that the rebellion made to just get a chance at getting the plans. And then they barely get the plan. They barely escape with the plans, and then they don't escape with the plans, and then they barely escape down to this desert planet.
Right.
And like, it's just like such a little thread of like hope.
Yeah.
And then and then they end up turning the tide of the war. But like, but you see these early days where it's like really scary and they can't even think about, an ending like that. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I just Luthen as a character, I think he was perfectly cast.
Oh,
Like
Stellan
he was
Skarsgård
just
kills it, dude. Yeah.
so, so good.
Ugh,
Yeah.
can't say enough. I'm glad he's not dead. Glad can't wait to
Yeah.
see him. Can't wait to see him in season 2.
I think he is going to die before Andor's over though.
It's gonna be tough for them to sell how he dies because we've seen how fucking prepared and on point he is at all times.
Right.
It's gonna be tough. I'm very interested to see how that, but
Right.
maybe not.
But
Maybe he's like maybe he goes underground and I don't know. I don't know.
maybe. I mean, I think what they'll do is I think he'll trade his life for like a greater reward. Because
Right.
he said he
Right.
was a coward. And I
Right.
thought it was going to come into play at the end there, but it didn't. Like I thought
No.
he was going to like maybe step in and like reveal himself to Deidre at the end.
Right.
But he didn't, which, but now they can conceal it. But I think if he does the calculation, he's like, okay, if I take the fall here, the rebellion will benefit from this, this, and this, whatever.
Right.
I hope it's something like that where he like, he gets some benefit out of it instead of just like
Yeah.
saving somebody. But
Yeah.
either way, probably my favorite character in the entire.
He's definitely up there for me. There is one other character which we'll talk about in a little bit that I can't help but love. So that's kind of that whole first arc. If we have anything else, we can go back, but we got to keep moving because there's a lot to get to. So let's talk about that Aldani heist arc, which the heist itself I enjoyed, and also very Rogue One-ish in the sense that pretty much everyone fucking dies in this process, dude. To the point where I was like Nemec's death, that was tough, dude. Getting crushed.
It was a bad plan. Their plan relied on you have to like have the people work to get it in there. Like that was a bad plan.
Oh yeah, and like it goes to fucking Andor's point where it's like y'all don't know what the fuck you're doing, do you? Like what?
Yeah.
This is what the hell y'all doing?
And they left a lot of money there. Like they probably could have gotten a lot more, but
Yeah.
they got some. But still, it's just like it just kind of struck me as that the whole plan was pretty great until the end, where it's like, okay, now all you people start loading up the ship. It's like, what? This is not going to work.
I mean, I guess it makes sense in the sense that like they can't carry all that shit themselves, and if there's men there, use them.
Yeah.
So it's like I get that. I guess it was just pure unluckiness that someone heard on the radio and headed down there. I think everything else would have went smoothly without that. But something's got to go bad. It
The
always
girls
has to
could have
happen.
killed that guy. They could have killed him so easily, like way earlier before this even started.
Yeah.
Like because they were up on the top of the dam, and then they're like running away from him without killing. I'm like, yo, shoot him in the back of the head.
Right.
Like,
I guess that they were worried maybe some patrols would go in there and
Yeah,
eventually see him.
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah. I thought the eye was one, beautiful, two,
that was cool.
an amazing sequence to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, very
That
cool.
was so dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just loved Andor's whole like establishment amongst this crew of rebels, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
And like trying to feel them out, them like being real sketchy about him since he's new. I loved afterwards the reveal of Skeen being a total dick, and Andor without hesitation, dude.
Yeah.
Without hesitation, just takes him
Yeah,
out.
like mid sentence, he's like, okay, well, we could go to this moon, we could get my ship, and then
Boom.
bam, like
Done.
just mid sentence, like, yep, no, cut that shit out.
That was incredible. I was like, oh, he's so cold and perfect.
And it's like, and you're hoping it's just like Andor would kill people like that, and like you're always, in scenes like that in movies, you're always like, come on, just kill this guy. Like, come on, he's too threat. You can't let this guy live. And Andor just is like, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm gonna kill him now.
I'm gonna do
Like,
it. Yeah, this guy's if not, this guy's gonna try to kill. He's gonna do the same to me. He's gonna try to kill me. I gotta do
Right.
it.
Right. It's so like it was just kind of great to know that even then, right? They find like this little skeleton crew, and the rebellion is that fragile that even that little skeleton crew, there's like an opportunist in there that would derail your plan along the way too. It's like these are like the things that can kill a movement at the beginning before it even begins.
And like if we were to go back in Skeen's life, we would probably like see why he's that way, and we'd probably be like, yeah, I get why Skeen's that way. Like he was just a dude that looked out for himself.
Mhm.
But I loved how
Right.
all the shit he told Andor was a lie. That were like where they
Mhm.
came from, and like
Mhm.
that's why he was so sketch of him to begin with, because he's like, this is the one guy that could fuck up my plan to screw these
Right.
people over.
Right.
And so I love looking back on those episodes and seeing that, be like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now,
Yeah, they would have been fucked.
And I love how
with
even
that.
later on, in one of the episodes, Clea tells Vel, like, she's like, yeah, Luthen was sketchy of Skeen this whole time, so that's one less thread we got to worry about. So it's like even
Mhm.
Luthen knew that Skeen was a little Nah, I don't trust you,
Right,
but I
right.
need you.
But I think that's why they wanted Cassian because they knew that he has this, skill set, but he
Right.
still is honorable enough to like be like, hey, listen, I'm just gonna take my cut,
Yeah.
like I'll leave. I'm not gonna tell anybody. But that's I think that's why Luthen recruited him because he knew deep down at heart that he could be influenced to the rebel cause to like really believe it.
Right.
And which, by the end of the story, that's like he's like all in on the alliance. And then
Mhm.
it was really cool because I watched Rogue One after,
Oh, nice.
yeah, with my partner, and like it was just like, she loved it because it's like
Had she seen it before or no?
she had not.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so for her, it was great to have seen Andor first, and for me, it
Right.
was just really cool to like have all this context behind this character now.
Yeah.
So
That's
but
dope.
I think that's why they recruited him because they knew that he was like fair enough to where he wouldn't have done something sketchy like that to like try to take the money for himself.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. Again, more of that, the Empire just being horrible on Aldani, like, suppressing all of those people. That one shot of the
Hmm.
TIE fighter flying low early on in the episode is terrifying, dude. That is just
Hmm.
one TIE fighter where we're used to seeing,
Hmm.
like, 50 in space. Just seeing the
Hmm.
one from the ground was like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah, when they're like going on patrols and stuff. Oof.
Yeah, like, the Empire's scary.
And they blew up that holy monument, that site. They probably killed all those people too. Like,
Probably. Empire
I mean,
petty
that's
as
what the
hell,
Empire
man.
does,
They're
man.
they're petty as hell.
Yeah, they're very petty.
Yeah, I was very surprised Nemec went out the way he did, crushed by money. They all died. Fucking
Oof.
Gorn, fucking Terramin, all gone. All gone except for Vel, which I like Vel. How do you feel about Vel?
I didn't love her. I like her girlfriend more.
Cinta, yeah, she's dope. She's
Cinta.
dope.
Cinta was cooler. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Cinta was
I
cooler.
think I like Vel because I like the fact that she still like has morals in the sense that like she doesn't want to kill Cassian, it seems. Whereas Clea's like,
Hmm.
fuck that, you gotta kill him. He's a loose end, kill him.
We
Like
gotta do what we
Clea
gotta
is
do.
cold as fuck.
It's for the cause, man. For the
Yeah,
cause.
no, but yeah, constantly
Yeah.
calling Luthen out on this shit. She's like, "You're slipping. You're fucking up." And like, it seems like Clay is more in charge than Luthen is at times.
Well, she just has that rich person audacity, like
Right.
to just like tell everybody what she thinks it is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. I love that she's in
Hmm.
on it, talking about her and Luthen. I love that. Which back to Luthen real quick. His transition into Luthen turning into the fucking merchant collector man that he is, putting the
Yeah.
wig on and everything, and the laugh and the grin. Like, god damn, he's so good in that role,
Yeah.
man.
I loved all his conversations he had where they'd be like, okay, now we got to go move across the room and like fake
Right.
look at this thing
Have our
and then
back
move
turn a
across
bit.
over here and look at this. Like, I love that every time. And the driver's like, man, she just really loves this
Really?
collectible shop.
Yeah. Did you see there's a bunch of, like, Easter eggs in his shop, but one in particular, obviously, is the Star Killer armor from Force Unleashed video
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
I
pretty
did see
cool.
that. That
Yeah.
was cool. I was thinking it was from the animated series, from the Clone
Wow.
Wars, like the old Clone Wars. But you're right, it's Star Killer.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It looks very similar to, like, all that. Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think it's Star Killer.
Yeah. Pretty
Also,
dope.
his assistant looked a lot like Carrie Fisher. Did you pick up?
Oh,
Did
yeah, a
you
little
notice
bit.
that?
Yeah.
Like for me, I was like, I mean, this is like a Princess Leia like knockoff. Like, I mean, I thought that was kind of a cool. I wonder if it was intentional or if it was just like
Yeah, I don't know.
coincidental. But I don't
That's
know.
pretty cool, though. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I didn't notice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could definitely see it
Hmm.
now.
Yeah, she was cool. I liked her a lot too.
Yeah, she's pretty dope. There was a like a one-off episode. I don't. Oh, that's when Cassian goes to fucking Miami Beach and then gets sent to jail for 6 years. Which, when
For
you saw
loitering,
those robots,
for
did you
running too
think?
hard.
Yeah. Did you think that one of those robots was gonna turn into K2SO from Rogue One?
It crossed my mind, but no, not yet.
I was genuinely surprised that he got sentenced to jail for 6 years, though.
I was, yeah, that was very surprising.
I was like, "Fuck, dude, what?"
And it was such a good like karma moment because he's like, well, I'm out. I'm just gonna look out for me and mine and I'm gonna run away. And then he runs away, and then the Empire follows him, and it's like this is how oppressive they're gonna be. Like,
Yeah, he just pure happen chance. Which this is another weird like cultural moment where it's just profiling. It's like a guy who's like, "You're brown. All these other brown guys are running. Why were you running? Why are you sweaty?" And he's like, "It's hot outside. What do you mean? I'm a tourist." And he gets sent to jail
Yeah.
for 6 years. I was like, "What the fuck,
Hmm.
dude? This is nuts." And
Yep.
I
Yep.
kind of like the tiny bits of like real life metaphors that he put in this show. And yeah, man, yeah,
Yeah. They were just looking for reasons to arrest people so they could, power their war machine, which, ooh,
right. Which let's now get into my personal favorite arc of the show, which is the prison arc
Oh,
on
yeah.
Narkina 5, which
Mm-hmm.
introduced my favorite character, which I won't even say RIP because we don't know, but fucking
Ooh.
Andy Serkis is in this show, dude. I was so surprised and happy to see him, man.
Do you
Ugh,
think he's trying to do more like, not mocap kind of stuff in
seeing
his
his
career
face.
now? Yeah, because like I mean, the last few roles we've seen him in, like in Disney movies and in Marvel and stuff like that, he's been himself. So I wonder if he's kind of trying to move
Move
to
into
be
that
like a
space. I mean, like,
yeah.
good for him though. He's a phenomenal actor, man. Like, he
Yeah,
deserves
he
more.
was
Like,
great.
I did
He
like
was
how this
great.
started all the weird Snoke theories because I also kind of like because he plays Snoke, but he's mocapped,
Ah.
so it's like, ooh, maybe he didn't die because he's Snoke.
Nah, fuck Snoke, dude. Don't
No,
don't don't touch the sequels.
that's why I
Okay,
was
do
so
not
happy. I
touch
was
the
like,
sequel trilogy.
he kind of got
Anything in the show.
redemption because he didn't get to do jack shit as Snoke, man.
True, yeah. No, definitely some Andy Circus redemption.
Oh, good for him. Like that whole sequence was amazing. That 3 episode arc was amazing in the sense that
Mhm.
this again, the Empire is so fucked, dude. This
Mhm.
whole prison is awful.
They just rotate you around.
They don't
Hey, your sentence
yeah,
is up. Now
right?
you get to go down 3 floors.
That reveal was nuts. But like even before that was like you don't get food that tastes like food. You got to eat your food through a
Mhm.
fucking tube. The floor
Mhm.
is electrified. Like you don't wear shoes all like this shit is nuts.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I was like, how, like, that when they explained the whole prison, I was like, how the hell are they gonna get out of this? Like, this is so controlled. And
Right.
like the very floor itself is like can't walk around on it, but very clever how they ended up doing it, just shorten the power and
Yeah, which
buying a little
I
window.
love that was my favorite episode I think of the whole show is the ninth one where you get the big reveal and then the old man Olaf dies. And then
Mhm.
the last line when he's like, "So how many guards on each floor?" And Andy Serkis is like, "No more than 12." And Ansel's like, "Yes,
Mhm.
let's fucking go, dude. Oh my god,
Mhm.
I can't wait to let's escape this fucking shit." Yeah, I love the use of the water and there's a lot of metaphors throughout this show of climbing. There's a lot of climb throughout this. They
Mhm.
do it in the at the end of the heist through the eye where Nemec's just yelling climb. The whole metaphor of them climbing out of this prison to the point where the water's leaking through all the floors underneath and they're just
Mhm.
telling them to climb. I liked a lot of that stuff. And then the biggest heartbreak is Kino can't swim, dude.
Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Oh, that hurt so much. It hurt.
No words, dude. Like I can't believe it. I couldn't believe they did it. I was like,
And just like the way it went down was so perfect, like for the purpose of the show, because like Cassian just gets knocked off before you can
yeah,
even do anything. And it's like, oh my God, that was so heartbreaking.
so rough, dude.
They get all the way out
Yeah.
and it's like water. And then Andy Serkis's character's like, I can't swim.
He just says it like so like casual. He's just like, I can't swim. It's
Fuck.
so rough.
But they did leave it vague enough to where like, who knows?
Who
But I
knows,
mean,
dude?
it looks like, I mean, and I think he would jump before he would get recaptured because like he's not
Right.
just gonna sit there and wait for the Empire to take it back. Because
Well,
like
also they'd kill
immediately
him.
after that, there's patrols everywhere looking for them. So like,
Right.
probably a lot of people probably got recaptured, whatever. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, I don't know. It's they left it off. Who knows where he could come
Who
back in
knows,
any
man?
form.
I obviously would love to see him. I love Andy Serkis, and he was great in this role. But I don't
Hmm.
know, man. But before that, before we get past this, his speech was great. Like
Hmm.
I fucking him and Luthen's speech just are in the same episode were so good, and I love that this show is so smart because I feel like another show, obviously they would have Cassian do that. Cassian would be the one on
Hmm.
the on the
Hmm.
mic doing it, but this show's so smart where Cassian's like, you do this. This is your job. You
Hmm.
do this literally every day. Is yell at us and tell us to
Hmm.
do shit. You need to be the
Hmm.
one to do it. And I just love that he got a chance to do that and he killed it. And it was so good.
Yeah, I love that one shot of like all the guards like hiding in that one room. It's like as the
Yes.
prisoners just going by. Like that was pretty
I
cool.
mean that I would. That's why they're like there's no guards. There's like there's barely any patrol because the Empire
Hmm.
again never thought they needed it. They got so full of themselves. They're like, we got this floor. There's no way these
Hmm.
people can escape. And it's like
Hmm.
it just shows how Empire slipping.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this until much
Ugh.
later. The one guy that survives with Andor, Melshi, is in Rogue One.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Yeah,
wait. I feel like his. Did he?
I'm pretty sure he dies in Rogue One.
He's in that last battle, but I feel like he's
Yeah,
like the commander.
yeah,
He's like maybe a lieutenant or something. But yeah, I remember that name. I didn't know if that was the prisoner's name.
yeah.
Holy crap.
He
That's
he
crazy.
goes on to survive to Rogue One if we ever do
That
see
is
him again.
cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, so that's that. let's move on to the finales arc of the last 2 episodes, which the second to last episode,
Mm,
quieter episode. They kinda set more
mhm,
setup of, like, all these pieces are gonna come together at one of the biggest things that revealed to me,
mhm.
Marva's funeral. She fucking died off screen, dude. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
That was
Well, wait,
nuts.
but before that though, should we quickly talk about Mamantha?
Yes, I was gonna yeah, okay, yeah, let's talk about Mon Mothma. I loved it. She was great. Like, I could see how maybe some people think that part's, like, a little slow, but I loved watching
Mm-hmm.
her politic around and, like, seeing
Mm-hmm.
her I love how she gives credit to Palpatine of how she's able to do this. She's like, "I learned from Palpatine of how to not
Mm-hmm.
show everyone your cards and just pretend to be this nuisance of a politician when underneath I'm actually funding your demise."
And it is funny that like she's literally just campaigning for like basic rights, and the whole
Right.
Senate's just like, well, whatever. It's like the
Ugh,
Emperor is like good with not, so whatever. But
right.
I couldn't tell. Is it the same? Is it played by the same actor that plays her in
In
Rogue
Rogue
One? It
One.
is
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she
yeah.
looked so different. Like
I know,
it was kind of hard to
right?
tell.
She doesn't have that classic Mon Mothma hair yet, but
Yeah,
so yeah,
that bowl cut, and that just like
which not
white
looking
dress.
forward for her to get that haircut.
Yeah, I took a fitted sheet off a mattress, and that's my clothing.
Right?
And for my haircut, just fuck me up,
Yeah,
partner.
I kind of like seeing this early days Mon Mothma where she's kind of a little in over her head at this point. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
she's not the confident Mon Mothma that we learn to know leading the rebellion later. Where she's like, I like seeing this early day shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
her family sucks.
Dude, her daughter sucks. Husband trash. I mean,
Ugh,
I guess the Chandrillans. I don't know. I must have missed some Clone Wars episodes that talked about the Chandrillans,
I
but
don't
they were
remember. Yeah.
not great. But I mean,
No.
it just seems like kind of a weird culture. It also seems like maybe the Jedi stole some of their style from them because they look very samurai, kind of like lots of the rapping
Her
stuff.
daughter at the end, I was like, "Yo, this girl, why does this girl look like Anakin Skywalker?"
The braid, love the
With her
braid.
braids and that white clothes. I was like, "Why does she look like a Padawan right now? What the hell's going on?"
And they kind of left it like, oh, she's good. She's like, well, I have to put her in an arranged marriage, but it's like, but she's into it, so we don't feel morally bad about it, I guess.
I
And
guess
all
so.
Changelins do that, so.
Right. It seemed like this was gonna be like the first meeting. I'm assuming the marriage will probably go through if they all survive.
Hmm.
Which my mom, we didn't know my mom had a family until this, so who knows what the hell's
Hmm.
happening to them. My question is, do you think they're gonna be the ones that rat her out?
It would not surprise me,
I wouldn't
honestly.
yeah. I could definitely see the daughter finding this shit out and immediately telling the police.
Yeah, the daughter, like her family is definitely like not with her.
Her daughter's in a weird cult, it looked like.
Yeah, or just like their religion. Like it's
Yeah,
like, so I guess, and it was kind of cool. Like that was another thing that made me think about, our society is like, like Mon's generation is kind of maybe more secular and they don't really care about the old ways as much. But then the younger generation, like her children's generation, is kind of getting more into the traditional ways and embracing,
right.
stuff like that. Not that we are, but like some people do, like,
Right, yeah, yeah. Which, yeah, that was, like, I think we did know this probably in, like, old canon of Star Wars, like, Mon Mothma was also in an arranged marriage at, like, 15 years old, she got married to this guy
mm-hmm,
and then became a senator at 16, and so it's like,
mm-hmm.
she knows this shit, and clearly, she's like, at this point, like, "No, I don't want my kid to have that because that shit sucks."
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I love the little politic. And so the gangster guy, he's not only going to give her that. Well, she doesn't even need the 400K though, because she like plays the informant like a book, dude. Like
Yes.
she just like played him so well. Like that was so smart. Like I love that scene because I was like, oh, she just played the fuck out of her driver. Like she's
Yeah.
like, oh, you've been
While
gambling
at the
again.
same time, completely throwing her husband under the bus.
Yeah, and her husband's like, I actually have not been gambling. Like, can we go back there? And she's like, "Ugh, whatever. You're just
Right.
a liar and a cheater and a gambler too, you
Oh,
bitch."
it's so funny. I was
And
like,
he's
"That's
just like,
just"
no, but like really though, I went and I got help. Like I
right,
went to the help group. I don't gamble anymore. Like,
right.
come on, like give me some credit. That was a hard 5 years.
I know. There was a tiny bit of me that's like, "Damn, she gaslighting him so hard right
I
now, dude."
know. It was great though. And the driver's like, "Nyeh, see, nyeh," like,
Right. Yeah, that was brilliant play on her. Then clearly it's like she's evolving to understand the things that she's gonna need to do to
right.
survive.
And then she was talking to the gangster guy, aka I guess Donald Trump, because he's like, yeah, The way the government sets up the tax code is just you just find ways around it.
Right, right.
It's like a little game I like to play of how much tax avoidance can I do. Like it's like, damn, this is like really,
Yeah.
this is too realistic right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was interesting to know that her husband seemingly was like a decent person or in his early days. Like she's like when he was in school,
Mm-hmm.
he was the firebrand, she called him. And he's like, "Oh, I don't want to talk
Mm-hmm.
about those days." And I think just like time and the world he's lived in, he's turned into like this just like I don't want to do anything. I just want to drink and party and not
Yeah,
worry about the world around me type of person.
definitely seems like the type that would turn.
Her daughter, I really don't care about anymore. But I would
Nah,
love to see a turn from him, but I don't think we're gonna get that.
yeah, probably not. But you never know.
You
I
never
mean, he
know.
could. He
Yeah.
could turn out to be good in the end, and maybe he gets killed by the Empire or something.
Yeah, I don't know. There's got to definitely gonna be a reason why she seemingly is alone in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, back to Marva, who we also haven't talked about, which I thought she was great. I think she did a great
Mm-hmm.
performance. Her
Mm-hmm.
and man, B2 emo, top
Ugh,
top 5 droids of all time, dude. Like I love
love
him.
that droid,
I
man. I was
love.
so sad for him.
Oh,
Always.
he is the
Ugh.
saddest droid in the world, dude.
But it's okay. It's okay. He's gonna be around still. But like, man, he's like, when the guy comes, he's like, and first of all, I like Cassian's friend. I don't know his name, but the guy, like the
The
bigger
big guy.
he had like a New Zealand accent.
Yeah, I think his name
He
is
was cool.
Brasso. Brasso.
Brasso. But yeah, Brasso, man, when
He was
he comes in and he's like, well, could you, maybe you could stay here. Like,
Oh,
I'd love if you could.
you're
And the guy's
breaking
like,
my heart.
dude, a true bro. He's like, all right, I'll stay one night. Like,
Exactly. I'm like, come on, Brasso, just get a sleeping bag, light up some candles, and have a
he did, man.
sleepover
He
with him,
did.
man. Yeah,
He's like one night for a droid. Like you
right.
gotta love that guy.
And it does make me think about like, do droids have feelings? Because I'm
They
feeling for
definitely
this
have
droid,
feelings.
dude.
Yeah, droids. Look, listen, the droids, like the morality of droids in Star Wars is a problem that we have not really talked about enough.
They're slaves,
like,
bro. They are
They
slaves.
have all those droids that like Obi-Wan and Anakin kill very casually in the prequels. they were like chatting, chit-chatting and having
Yeah.
like talking about stuff. And they got killed ruthlessly. Or like the one that in Jabba's palace is getting literally tortured. Like
Yeah.
his feet are getting tortured. It's like, these are like sentient beings. I'm pretty
It
sure
really
they're
made me
AI.
think about it with B2 emo.
Yeah, it's a big problem in Star Wars that they have not really done a good job of.
No.
And then they just kill them whenever they need to. But
Yeah, they treat him like shit. Yeah.
But this one, it's like, man,
I
God, that
wanted
was
to
tough.
protect this one with my life, dude.
Me
And
too.
very quickly, moving ahead real fast. When he gets kicked over, I was like, y'all better murder that dude who just kicked him. You better murder him. How dare he?
If we weren't gonna start a motherfucking riot, now we are.
Right. But yeah, I love how much like Cassian like loves it. He's like a little brother basically to Cassian. Like
Mhm,
he loves
mhm.
him and he's like, it's just sad every time, like even at the end where he's like, I'll be back. And B2's like, you always say that. I never got to hang out. I never
Mm.
got to see you. Like he just wants to be with Cassian, and it's so sad and adorable at the same time.
That is one character flaw of Cassian's. He makes a lot of empty promises. And
He
like,
sure does. He sure fucking does.
He's like, oh yeah, don't worry, I'll be back. And he just tells people what they need to hear. And it's like, dude, Bix literally got existentially tortured for you. Like,
Oh, let's talk about Bix real quick, man. Oh,
oh, great friend. Okay,
great friend.
terrible choice of having Cassian as your friend.
Yeah.
Like holy shit, man. God,
Dude, she
dang.
has seen better days. I'll tell you that. Oh,
That's one of the most Empire things I've ever fucking seen. Like in the books, they've done evil stuff like that. Like in some of the books, like of the
are you talking about the torture?
yes, but like the way that they just casually like, well, this is the sound that's this interesting sound we found of child murder of these aliens. So we're just gonna put that on your ears and let that sink in for a little while. Like,
That was so rough. And like she plays that scene so well where it's like, and just the way it's
Mhm.
edited, where it's like as soon as the headphones go on, it's just dead
Mhm.
silence. And all you
Yep.
just get is her face as the reaction. And it's like, oh God, it's horrible. And it's like, it just shows how evil as fuck the Empire is, where they're like, yeah,
Mhm.
like we just happened upon this. Like we went back to a place and these two guards were like in a corner crying. And we're like, why? And we heard the sound. I was
we
like,
could use
oh,
that.
we could use that. Yeah, this would be great. Oh,
And it sounded kind of bad when we killed the adults, but the children, that was when it really sounded
that's
really
really
good.
took it up a notch, you know? It really got our stats through the roof. Oh, that was
Oh
fucking
God.
awful, dude.
That was like the most Empire shit ever. I was like, yep,
Yeah.
this is why we fight. Like
Right, right. It really does, because like, again, up to this point in most Star Wars, we just kind of think the Empire is a bunch of clowns, like, they're a bunch of
I
idiots.
know
But this was like, "Oh, fuck, we gotta worry about this."
in every other property other than like Rogue One and like, every other like series, what movie, whatever. Like, yes, the
Yeah.
Empire is just a bunch of clowns like that run around, they can't hit anything. But like in Rogue
Whew.
One and Andor, damn man, they are fucking evil.
Yeah. I do hope we get more of Bix. She didn't have much to do except, fucking her life get sucked out of her and have a horrible time. So
Yeah.
I'm glad she's alive, and I do hope we'll get more of her in a happier state of mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's quickly, while we're
Oof.
talking about the Empire, let's talk about Dedra and Cyril real quick. Dedra, she's
Mhm.
great. I thought that actor playing her fucking killed it. She's like,
Yeah.
again, up until I think she started torturing Bix, I was rooting for her. I was like, yeah, girl, get your
Mhm.
job. I like climb the ladder. But I was like, oh wait, y'all are all fascists. Never mind. I forget. Like,
Right.
to the fact that this show got me to like forget that she's a fascist. I was like,
I
oh
know.
damn, wait.
You saw the brutal corporate ladder of the
Yeah.
internal Empire office. Like, oh, you don't have access to that report. I'm
Right.
gonna report you to the boss. Oh yeah? Well, I'm gonna audit all your systems.
Yeah.
You need to pull this audit from we need to pull a report on all the missing equipment and then send that to the boss. It's just like, yo, I've never thought I would hear this much like sounding like real life. Okay. This is like my life.
Right.
Like 9 to 5. Okay. I don't need this from a Star Wars show. Like never did I think I'd hear the words audit in a Star Wars show. I was like,
Right.
what?
It's kind of
Audit?
nuts.
Shit,
Yeah.
did I check Outlook today? Fuck, did I forget about oh shit, I forgot about
I thought I left work. What the fuck?
that.
But yeah, like it's a fucking testament to the writing of the show that that shit didn't get boring to me. Like I was interested in these conversations with her and like the whatever general above her who was kind of had her back the whole time, which I kind of
Mhm.
liked. But yeah, like I loved everything she did. Cyril, Cyril gotta go,
Oof.
man. Cyril is a weird,
Yeah.
seemingly incel man who
He's an
stalked her.
incel for sure, but
Yeah,
he's just like all about the empire. He's like, yes, like order, like love order. Like there's nothing I wouldn't do for order. Like
right.
it's a little weird. And that's why she's even like, yo, chill the fuck out,
You need to
dude. Like
back the fuck up. I'm gonna kill you. Like, yeah, like I was like, this dude is nuts.
dude, he's gonna be so evil. I think that he could end up being, and I'm not sure about this, but I think he could end up being like, because I don't know if did we ever get his last name, but like, what if he
Um,
could end up being like one of the admirals that's like later in like Empire Strikes Back and something like that, and then like
oh
gets killed by
Jesus,
Darth Vader or something? I would
maybe
love for that to be his arc.
he survived till that point. Damn, that would be
And then he just
nuts.
gets like choked out by Vader and just like killed. Like
That would be so good. Oh,
I
that would
would
be so
fucking
funny.
love for that to be his arc. Like
Because I don't think we know what that guy's name is, so that could work out perfectly.
I know. Like I think is it in Return of the Jedi when he's just like choking a guy behind the admiral that he's talking to? There's just a
Right.
guy like dying and then he just kills him. And the admiral just looks at him like, okay, so we'll get right on that
All
for
right,
you.
moving
Like,
on. Yeah.
yeah. I
Oh,
would
that
love
would
for
be
that to
so
be
good.
Cyril. Yeah, he just worked his way all the way up. He's like, man, if I do just a good enough job, maybe Darth
Right.
Vader will pat me on the back someday. And he just gets fucking choked. Like he's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I clearly they're trying to like, I don't know about sympathize, but do something with his character by showing like I could tell that he's got a weird relationship with his mom, and that's probably why he is the way he is as well. Like his mom is
Ugh.
also seemingly not great, but also he's also not great.
I'm glad that him and Dietrich didn't kiss, but I think they're gonna do
Oh
it at some
God.
point, and it's gonna
No.
be
Oh,
some cringy ass shit.
I don't want to see
They're
it.
gonna be like open mouthing each other,
Oh
like
God.
like it's gonna be goofy as hell. There's gonna be a lot of spit.
That was the longest, like 15 seconds of the two of them just staring at each other in that fucking closet when he saves her. I was like,
Oh, man.
I hate this. I hate
These are
this
the
so
worst cringe anti-power couple, cringe
Yeah.
couple of the year.
But like I
Like-
just like I feel like yeah, like you said, I think those two are gonna wreck some shit now together, and I'm worried.
Yeah, he's gonna be her right hand man for sure.
Yeah,
But I could see an arc where he gets like stranded or something, and he has to talk to Cassian and like kind of like survival situation or something with him.
I
They have to,
I
like-
don't know. Yeah, that would be interesting. But like
It would
I
be
also think
interesting.
like he's not on Cassian's radar, dude. I don't think Cassian remembers this guy at
He
all.
doesn't. And I mean, that would be another hilarious thing in the
Yeah.
show is like Cassian just kills him like without a second thought. and,
Nothing,
Like,
like nothing. And then like someone
would love that.
Luthen's like, who was that? He's like, I don't know. He was the Empire, whatever.
yeah, I would love that too.
Yeah, so that whole riot. Oh well, quickly, Marva's speech, which I was very happy
Mhm.
because, like I said, she died so off screen unexpectedly. I was like, we didn't even get like a
Mhm.
final scene with her, and now it's again we get to that point. I was like, okay, this is why, because she gives her own fucking eulogy, and it was amazing, and I loved it,
Mhm.
dude.
And I mean, and that's great, because it's like, yeah, this is how, democracy dies. It's how you lose your rights. Is like they take one little thing at a time, right? And before
Yeah.
you know it, 20 years later, your logic isn't the same as what it used to be.
Hmm.
And she's like, we've been sleeping. Like, they've
Yep.
been just chipping away at us for too long. You gotta fight. You gotta pick a spot to fight. And it's like, I mean, it was a good speech, man, for especially for Star Wars. Like the
Yeah.
theme, just like, yeah, like, we might not have the guns, but we got this robot.
We got the
We
numbers.
got an IED from that kid.
Right, which very like the best shot in the world to nail it into another fucking box of bombs.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I just love that he was, because they hung his dad, so
Yeah. Yeah.
he got to fire the first shot.
Yeah. That was great. Again, weird like real world connections to this oppressive type of
Hmm.
horrible shit. And but I did love
Hmm.
how when the riot starts that Brasso, who's holding Marva's brick, just starts beating the shit out of dudes with the brick. I'm like, yes.
Also, that's a really cool tradition.
Yeah.
Have your ashes kind of so a part of you's always in the community. That's cool.
Right. Like, and that's why I love earlier in that episode where Andor goes to see Clem, his father's brick in the wall.
Hmm.
And I was like, that's a kind of a nice touch. I really enjoyed that.
And Clem, that was a cool thing because they revealed it, kind of like as you go, like they reveal his relationship with him. And like, I just love that they didn't just like spill it all at once. That was
Yeah.
like part of the subtle nature of the show that worked really well. Is like the first few episodes, you have that kind of like flashback where you don't understand the language and you don't need
Right.
to.
No,
And
no.
then, and you're just kind of following along. And then you get kind of the post, like his not abduction, but like his rescue, I guess, where he's like raised by Marva and Clem.
Hmm.
And so you see that part, and then you see why he went to jail when he was like a teenager, and then why,
Right.
so you see his full
Yeah.
development in different stages. I just love that they like added it in subtly instead of just like beating you over the head with it. This show just did that so well.
Yeah. Cause like, I think, I can't be wrong, but I think like they don't like give you the reason as to why he calls himself Clem to
Yeah,
Luthen
yeah,
later on.
exactly.
Until
And then
later,
you
it's like,
learn, yeah,
oh shit. Oh,
yeah,
so good. So good.
right. And that's it. I love little stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I agree.
It's like trust your audience. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like so many writers fall into this trap of like, oh, well, they won't get it if I don't
They
remind them
have
again.
to dumb it
So
down a bit.
let
Yeah.
me throw in a flashback. Let me throw in a quote. Like, remember when this person said that? Let me throw that in there. It's like, just put it in there and trust us.
Trust
And
them.
like, we
Yeah.
will pick it up. Like audiences are so much smarter than you think.
Right. Which is why, again, going back, it sucks that not a lot of people are watching this show because I hope the studios don't learn the wrong lessons from this
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
continue to give us shit like this. And
I mean,
yeah.
dude, it's the tragedy of Rogue One too, because I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of the casual fans didn't love Rogue One, but all like the hardos fucking loved Rogue One.
Right. I don't know how you
So
can't love Rogue One. Oh, so good.
I mean, like I get it because watching it again, I was like, I don't really have any attachment to like Jenna or so,
Yeah.
the other people of the Suicide Squad, but like Cassian obviously now I have a lot of attachment, the attachment
Yeah.
to.
Right.
But it's because they kind of went really fast and the movie had to move to get to
Mhm.
where it wanted to go. But
Right.
good God, that last the fight at the
The
end,
last
like
30, 40 minutes of that movie are
oh,
fucking fantastic.
so good. You're right, because like I'm scared that the same thing, that Star
Yeah.
Wars won't learn,
Right.
and like we'll get more like, and I saw this one thing where it's like, Andor presents an interesting problem
Mhm.
for Star Wars now, because now you've given us this like amazing deep dive where like a dark kind of good show, like
Right.
tailored for adults. Like there's so much in Star Wars that you could do more with this, but it's
Yeah.
like, are you just going to go back to like Book of Boba Fett kind of shit, or
Right. And like
I don't know.
it go again, like I like the lightsaber heavy stuff. I have fun with that shit, but like I don't need
Mhm.
it all the time. And like I love Andor as well. Like there's
Right.
room for multiple different
Yes.
genres and things to do.
That's why we keep coming back to Star Wars, because
Right.
we love the universe. We always want to know more about it. It's very rich. There's always more stories to tell.
Exactly.
So give us more stuff like this, because good man, it was so good.
Yeah. Yeah. So all the pieces come together and
Mhm.
at Marva's funeral, we kind of already talked about most of them. I think basically Cassian saves Bix. They all unite, and then he goes again, like you said, he lies to them. He's like, "Yeah, I'll see you guys later." Little did we know at that time, like, did Cassian think Luthen was gonna kill him? Because he tells
Oh
Luthen,
yeah,
"Just shoot me." So again, lying to his
yeah.
friends and family.
No, I mean, but I think he knew that Luthen saw the potential. Like
Right.
Luthen would have come all the way to meet him in person if they really would have killed him. But he's
Right.
like, just like shoot me or take me in. And that's like Luthen's like, finally, like this is what I wanted from this guy.
Yeah.
Like I wanted him to be like my right hand man kind of thing.
I do wonder if there was also a tiny bit of Luthen that heard Marva's speech and that also kind of convinced him to not want to kill Andor because he's like, oh, I see what's happening here and what this is doing.
Right. Everything kind of collided perfectly for Andor to like, be fully committed to the rebel cause because like Marva's death because she wanted to be a rebel and she knew that he had the potential, and him being like, like needlessly arrested by them and sentenced to an unfair thing. Like, it's just everything, the stars just aligned perfectly for him to be like, all right, I am all in on the rebel cause.
Yeah. Yeah. So everyone's pretty much alive by the end that we care about, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Post credits. I definitely guessed that it was the Death
I didn't
Star.
watch post credits.
Oh, really?
I didn't see it.
Oh, shit.
What happened?
I'll tell you right now then. It just shows that all the pieces that they were building in the prison were pieces building the Death Star.
Oh.
So it just shows like a bunch of droids setting up those pieces, literally building that satellite dish that the super laser comes out of, and the Death Star. Yeah, that's about it. Which that was my guess, is like they're building something for the Empire. Is it the Death Star? And it was. So not much.
Very cool.
That's kind of it. One couple quick things. I saw in the credits that Diego Luna does his own Spanish dubbing of this show, which I thought was very cool. That's pretty dope.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
One thing I wonder if we'll get into season 2, this whole deal with his sister that they don't come back to. Because they make a big deal out of it, and Marvin makes a big deal in one of the episodes to say, that stuff about your sister, don't bother, don't leave it, don't think about it anymore. I wonder if that's going to come back.
Was Bix from that planet too?
I don't think so. I don't think Bix was from there.
Because that's what I thought, was that like she was that other little girl, but I don't know. Because I think what happened was, that was like a rebel, or not? It was like a Republic ship during the Clone Wars, or it was
right? Because that was interesting. They say that the Republic ship is on the way, and they're gonna fucking slaughter everyone because they killed an officer.
Mm-hmm.
But also, the same thing going with that whole mining facility. There was some kind of malfunction on this planet with the mining facility,
right? And they say everybody died. So, but he was looking for his sister at the beginning. That's what started the whole show off. So.
Right. So I'll be interested if we get any more of that, because we know season 2 is the last season of the show, sadly.
Why?
So this season covered 1 year. They're originally going to do 5 seasons, one for each year, because this takes place 5 years before Rogue One.
Please.
Apparently, it's mostly because Diego Luna didn't want to do that for 5 years, so he said, "I'll give you 2. You get 2 years."
What? What? Are you kidding me?
I think so.
Diego, hey, Disney, throw some money at him. Throw some money at that man. You got the money. Come on.
Next season will take place over 4 years, leading up to Rogue One. So there'll be some time jumps in there.
I'm heartbroken.
I know.
Does Diego Luna not love money? Does he not like being cool?
We just can't have nice things.
Awesome character.
One thing we'd want 5 years out of, we're not going to get.
That is so heartbreaking.
Yeah. But, hey, maybe that means, I don't know, it'll be tighter. I don't know. I could have done with 3 years,
I mean, hey, you know what? If we learned any lesson, it's better to have, some good low quantity, high quality.
Right.
Than vice versa. We're looking at you, Walking Dead. Should have ended it after 3 or 4.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm excited to see the origins of K2SO. I don't believe that B2 is going to be put into K2SO. They don't seem like the same personality.
No.
But just saying, if they kill B2 in next season, I will riot.
Yeah, I'm out on Andor.
I'm out on the Andor.
Yeah, I hope he gets a lot of screen time, because man, I loved his snarky, like,
yeah.
That's what she said too. She's like, I just love this droid. He's the best character. Like,
he's great. He's so good. That end, man, I don't know how many characters are gonna die in next season. Like Andor says in Rogue One, he's like, I've lost everything.
He also in Rogue One says he's been fighting the Empire since he was 6 years old. And like, we know for a damn fact true, Cassie. You've been fighting the Empire since 2 years ago.
Right.
I guess you could argue that, it was like when he got taken by Marva.
Right.
But,
yeah, I don't know. Which, Marva, this white lady stole a little brown boy. I don't know what they're doing there, but okay.
We can't leave him here. We have to save him. He'll go hungry.
I did actually find it kind of interesting that this character until this show started had no idea that his name was an adopted name, like that name given to him. I thought that was very interesting. I'm like, oh no shit, that's kind of obviously
that is cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of Andor, everyone.
Hmm.
Oh, wait, real quick. Because this was a kind of a big thing. What'd you think of Saul Guerrero, Forrest Whitaker?
Oh, I thought that was really cool. I thought it was a
Yeah,
really cool way to tie it to Rogue One, and it was really cool for my partner watching it. Like, it was very cool for her to see Saw Gerrera like in his younger form, and then to kind of fast forward and be like, this is kind of him in his final form, but he's
right.
like this kind of
He's
crazy
still kind of
freedom fighter.
crazy in this show. It's like he's
Hmm.
still kind of nuts.
He still had one of his legs, I think.
Right. He's not completely cybernetic. Lost his mind,
Right.
man.
But yeah, that was a very cool cameo. I'm glad they were able to do that.
Yeah.
And that in the conversation they had too, it's just very like Death Notey. Like, well, wait, if I was this, then why would I do this? If I was this, then why would you do this? Like,
Again, Luthen being a badass, just fucking with Saul. I mean, like, yeah, your man over here, he's been working for me this whole time. This guy right here.
yeah,
Yeah. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Also,
yep,
Saul's so paranoid that dude's probably dead now. Regardless of,
probably.
of
He's a
Luthen
paranoid
lying.
guy. Yeah,
See, that guy's dead.
lies, deceptions, every day, more lies.
Ah,
Yeah,
what a good fucking show though, man.
need more.
And like, look, I get if people didn't watch it after fucking Boba Fett and Obi-Wan and Mando. Like, it's been a lot, but if you haven't watched
This is the one to watch.
you gotta watch this.
Throw all those other ones in the trash. This is the one to watch.
If you don't watch it, you're a part of the problem, Star Wars fans. I'm sorry, you're part of the problem if you're not watching the show. Stop
Yes,
complaining about it. They're giving you good shit now. Do it.
right, right. More stuff like this, please,
Yes.
please.
Oh, great. See it. Thank you. That's Andor. Hope you enjoyed that, listeners. Devin, shall we move on to our final segment of the week?
Mm-hmm.
Which we like to call Free for All, title pending. This is a segment, listeners. We can kind of do whatever we want. We can talk about life, recommend something, take a nap, do whatever. It is free for all. Devin, what you got for us? You haven't been here in a couple weeks. You got anything for us?
Well, I got some interesting for you. So we watched a show on Netflix called 1899.
Hmm.
If you've seen anything about it, and it's like a mystery kind of reality thing.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched though.
Yeah, it was made by these, I think, German. This is what I like about Netflix is like international like creators, and you get to see stuff from like other countries and stuff. But
Right.
1899, it was a pretty cool show. It was like reality, kind of matrixy, kind of like what's happening, mystery kind of thing. I won't spoil anything. But the thing that I thought was really cool that I liked about it was we were first watching because we thought it was in German, so we watched it we were like dubbing it first,
Mm-hmm.
and like sometimes the subtitles were like lining up and sometimes they weren't, and I was like, what is going on here? So we put it in its original language in German. But the cool thing was that it's all these passengers on a boat, right? And like they come across this ghost ship, and that's kind of the whole mystery starts, right? It's like what happened
Okay.
on this ghost ship. But the passengers all speak in different languages, and they do it in the show. So like there's like French passengers, there's English, which you understand. There's German, the crew's German. There's Dutch or Danish characters,
Mm-hmm.
Spanish characters. There's a Spanish couple in it, and they all speak in their language. There's
Oh shit.
a Chinese actress, or there's a Chinese character that is acting Japanese. So
Oh.
so she speaks a little bit of both. And there's a Polish guy. So like, but they all speak in their own language. And throughout the show, these events happen that kind of put them together.
Uh-huh.
But like they always will talk to each other in the language that the other person doesn't understand. And so many times the other person be like, I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
But like you don't, but they don't really need to because like
that's so cool.
the emotion is there.
Right.
So for me, that was the coolest thing that the show did was
Ah.
like having a bunch of different languages going on at the same time. You gotta watch it with subtitles if you watch it. But I highly
Interesting.
recommend watching it in its original audio.
Yeah. Nice. How many episodes was it? Did you finish
8.
it?
We finished it. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think it was 8. I'm pretty sure it was 8 episodes.
Gotcha. Nice.
It was good.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. I definitely heard about it though. Yeah.
Hmm.
I will quickly go now. Mine's not very exciting. Remember that really terrible Avengers game that we all
Yep.
complained about? Yeah, I played more of it because they released the Winter Soldier character. Yeah, it's not a good game.
How much did you have to pay?
Oh, it's free. Oh, I'm not paying. I'm not paying anything towards that game, man. It's all free. Yeah, it's just really shows. Every time this happens, they release a new character. I start it up and it's constantly buggy, and it's just like there's no polish. It's really kind of gross, and it's just like just let this game die and start again. Do something different. Like you got to
Yeah.
just end it. I don't know why.
That's disappointing.
It is, and it's a bummer. Because like I think like they have good ideas and it's just like not very well executed. I think at this point
Hmm.
they probably aren't trying that much. I feel, but
No.
it is what it is. I played it for like a couple days and that was about it.
From everything I've heard of it, it seems like it's kind of symbolic of of like the problem with gaming now. Like I was talking to my partner the other day, and it was like we were talking about like the golden age of gaming, right? And then for me, it's like kind of late PS2 Xbox era, or
Yeah.
maybe I would say just the entire PS2 Xbox era, and
Right.
then maybe the early part of like the 363 PS3 era.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, you know, when the money just got into games, and this is kind of example of that, right? Like it was heavily advertised,
Yeah.
microtransactions, and it just felt like maybe it was just like the creative elements weren't there to like really make it a true game
Yeah.
of quality, but it could have been.
Right, right, absolutely. It could have and should have been better, and I think it was also a fucking element of wanting your game to last for an eternity, which
Hmm.
seems to be
Hmm.
like a lot of games want that. They want the Fortnite. They
Right,
want a game that will give you'll keep playing and giving us money
right.
for forever.
Give you like a mediocre experience for 400 hours instead of like an
Right,
amazing, instead of like
exactly.
something awesome for like just like 30 hours. Like,
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
So yeah, it's just a bummer, and I'll play it probably when the next new character comes out just to try him
yeah.
out.
I do hope the games will go back someday to like maybe this will course correct, someday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fully not there because like the new God of
No.
War games are still very story driven and they're still killing it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
Absolutely.
not entirely gone, but
Absolutely.
it's just you can see the money grabbing like tendencies
It's
in
just
those
way
kind of
more
games now.
obvious now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's sad, dude. It's like why,
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
a bummer. It's a bummer. Speaking of God of War, I'm just gonna say shout out to God of War Ragnarok again this week. It's a fucking great game. Still
Hmm.
playing. It's dope as hell.
It's funny that I was just talking about how bad modern games are, and then I played like a bunch of FIFA 23 this week. So like,
Wait. All right. Real quick. Have you played as Ted Lasso?
no, I haven't. I forgot that's
Oh,
on there.
you got to do that. You got to do.
I wonder how to access it. I gotta go find out how
You
to
got
play
to.
that as that team. That's funny.
Oh yeah, you got to let us know if you do that.
Hmm.
That is the show, listeners. Thank you for joining us this week again. We hope you enjoyed it. You can email us at thefortresssub@gmail.com, fortress spelled FOUR. Feel free to email us any questions or feedback or recommendations you have about the show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram and the YouTube channel at The Fortress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. You know, watch Andor. I'm not even going to tell you to recommend this to anyone. Just watch Andor. I'm going to recommend Andor to you. Watch it.
Hmm.
Thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast. Thank you, Brian, for the art. Alex for the music. Devin, thank you for being here even when you're not here. You can find Brian on Instagram at ITZ_, by the way. Alex at Peterson Films. And Devin, you can find him at #1 Andor Stan.
Hmm. All my homies love Andor. Seriously.
Oh, real quick, side tangent as well. Is there any update on your partner's DC watchings?
Is there? I feel like I've tried a few times, been like, we have 20 minutes left.
Okay,
in
so
Man
no
of Steel.
update on Man of Steel yet?
Yeah, we have 20 minutes left. We're gonna finish it at some point.
All right.
She's like, can we just start Batman vs Superman? I was like, no, we have to finish.
Still, all
it.
right, so we're still stagnant.
Yep.
All right, good to know. Next week, I don't know. The Game Awards are happening. If there's exciting announcements, maybe we'll cover that. Maybe it'll just be the news. Maybe it will be nowhere. Maybe it'll be lackluster. I don't know. That's it. We'll find out. Happy holidays, everyone, and put a code on his code out there.
It's actually getting to that season now.
Yeah, it's fucking cold. All right, thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you here next week. Another episode of The Fortress of.
Lies, deceptions, every day, more lies.